Okay, beautiful. Looks like we've reached a good number to get us started. Thank you all for joining us. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's new features webinar, where we'll be showing you all of the new and exciting features that we've released this past month. My name is Adney, and I'm a customer experience advocate here at monday.com. I'd also love to introduce my colleagues Eddie and Trisha, who will be supporting today's demo behind the scenes, helping answering your questions in our chat box. So shout out to Eddie and Trisha. Thanks, y'all. So you should be able to see my screen and hear me, but if that's not the case at any point, please let us know by writing in the chat box so we can get it resolved as quickly as possible. Additionally, if you have to step away at any point during the webinar, absolutely no worries. This session will be recorded for you to watch at your leisure. Today's session will be made up of two parts. First, we're going to take a look at our new features in action, and then we'll move into a live Q&A to answer your questions. Throughout the demo, please be sure to add your questions in the dedicated Q&A box at the bottom of the screen instead of the general chat box. We're going to try to get to as many questions as we can. That said, there are a lot of us today, 400 and counting. So if we don't get to your specific question, please feel free to check out our user community at community.monday.com, as it's likely someone else has already asked your question there and had it answered. And finally, you'll be emailed a recording of today's session within 3 business days. So let's jump right in and take a look at today's agenda. So we have some exciting updates to cover today. Mainly, we have an introduction to the Monday AI Assistant and new additions to our Jira integration, notification search, admin settings. We've implemented some Workform specific automation recipes, and we're also going to highlight an app on our marketplace called Recurring Tasks and a lot more. As we all know, AI technology has made significant progress in the last few months alone, and it's reached a maturity level that we think now is the right time to incorporate into monday.com. We not only want to provide these capabilities for all of you, but also we're giving third-party developers the option to create new and unique types of capabilities, which will benefit all of you even more. With that being said, I would love to introduce Monday AI Assistant. It's a tool that will keep evolving over time to empower all of you to create project tasks painlessly and in less time. We're going to walk through a few use cases today by which the AI assistant can be used, and I will be sending out a form after our webinar, so each of you can also sign up for the beta and join in on Monday's AI journey. So let's create a board from scratch and leverage AI to get us started. So the first AI feature that we're going to use to save us time is actually called our task generator. So I'm going to create a new board. This is going to be a test sales board, for example, and I'm going to use tasks as my terminology. And I'm also going to make it private. So now I'm going to rename my 2 groups to be goals, my second group to be tasks. And again, this is a private brainstorming board that's just for me, so my team won't have access to it, so I don't need to get too specific here. And for our walkthrough today, let's say that I'm a sales manager running a team for the first time, and I want to get an idea of milestones and goals that I should aim towards. So I'm going to open our AI assistant here, specifically our task generator. I'm first going to choose the group that I want to populate, goals. And let's try testing out a prompt. Let's say create a list of tasks with sales milestones and goals for my sales team. I'll click generate. The AI will evaluate our prompt, and in turn, it'll give us back a list of tasks based off what we provided. So from this list, I can select or deselect any tasks that I want to work with or not. In this case, I want to work with all of them. And from here, I have a nice skeleton of goals that I can branch off from and keep top of mind. When I click add items, as you could see, they immediately get added to my group. So that's pretty awesome. I'm going to go ahead and delete these items too, so we can have a clean view. And you can always go back and adjust your prompt, gauge new results, and see what's best. So let's try something totally different. In this case, I want to choose a different group. Let's choose our tasks group. Let's try a different prompt. Create a list of steps that my sales team should follow to close a deal. And now we'll have these steps to branch off from, and I can add these to my group. And as you can see, they got added right away. Pretty awesome, right? So as time goes on, our AI assistant will continue to learn, grow, and become more advanced. So be sure to check this thumbs up or thumbs down button in order for our system to recognize those patterns of success and improve. And not only can the Monday AI assistant generate tasks like so, but it can also write paragraphs for you and summarize information at a click. So let's make our way to a Monday work doc and play around with another angle of our AI assistant. So I'm going to name this sales brainstorming doc. I'll also make this private. So in this private document, I want to brainstorm some posts that I need to make as a sales manager, either shouting out our team, providing one-on-one feedback to a sales member, or basically any writing that I need to workshop a bit before pushing it out. So I can access our AI assistant right here. I'll click Write Me, and you'll see that you'll have some templates that you can branch off from. But let's say I want to write something like this. Write me a paragraph announcing our sales numbers for the quarter and have a friendly tone. Click Generate. And here we have a nice paragraph that I can use in either my Slack announcement and email announcement, and I can branch off from this, add to this. If I want to make this longer, I can also include the length of the message in my prompt. And I can also opt to summarize this information, and the Monday AI assistant will take what I've highlighted and return the same sentiments in a sentence or two sentences. I can add this to the doc as well. So lots of room here to play around with creating information, summarizing information, and a lot more. Now let's say maybe we didn't do as well this quarter, and I need some help with sending a message to my team, letting them know that we need to pick things up, but we're in this together, and I'm here to support them. So I'm going to open a new line, open our AI assistant, click Write Me again. And let's try this prompt. Write a message that I can send to my sales team, letting them know that we need to work harder next quarter. Also, inform them that I am here to support and guide them. Something like that. Let's try it. Immediately, we'll have a framework that we can build off from. So I've already saved a lot of time, leaving me with more mental real estate to put towards helping my team close deals and supporting them one-on-one, rather than thinking so hard about the wording and the way I want to send out these messages. So this will definitely help me out for sure. Okay, so now let's say it's 4 p.m. on a Friday. I've had a really long week and I've completely forgotten about a one-on-one meeting that I have with one of my sales members coming up. And I need some help with brainstorming an agenda. I'll click our AI assistant again, click Write Me, and let's try a prompt like this. I'm a sales manager. Write me a meeting agenda for my one-on-one with my sales member. Provide timestamps with an overall duration of 30 minutes. Beautiful. Now I can lead my meeting with confidence and I won't have to worry about preparing an agenda from scratch ever again. And as you can see, it's not going to be totally perfect. Sometimes the time is not going to match up perfectly, or there might be some mistakes. So as we explore more and more, it's important to keep in mind that the Monday AI assistant is still in beta. So from the nature of AI, there might be inaccurate information and it will not always be perfect. As I said, we're still scratching the surface with the Monday AI assistant. And the more we use it, the smarter it will become. So this is just the beginning. We cannot wait to see how it'll continue to evolve over time and become a game changer for your team's efficiency and productivity. Just to mention some features that are coming up for our Monday AI assistant is we're going to include an AI formula builder for your boards, an AI assistant for our emails and activities app, Email Composer, to compose replies, summarize emails and conversations. And the Monday AI assistant will also be able to create summaries of long threads and conversations in your update section. So really, really exciting stuff is just around the corner. Moving back to my board, let's take a look at the next feature for today's webinar. And this is actually the app of the month on our marketplace. The app is called Recurring Tasks and it was created by our partner, Adaptivist. To access our marketplace, we can click this jigsaw puzzle piece right here on the left-hand side. We can search for the app of our choice here, but in this case, Recurring Tasks is already in our featured section. You'll see it right away. So Recurring Tasks, it's the first app that lets you create any number of recurring items or sub-items all at once. You can accurately reflect tasks that are routine or regularly occurring tasks in your monday.com boards, calendar, timelines, Kanban, and other reports. And each reporting or each recurring item or sub-item is a native Monday item. So you could see it in your reports and edit each task individually. You have more control over scheduling tasks, also by selecting customizable end dates and repetitions, also working days. So lots of options here. We also want to note that this app is currently in beta. So that means that only some of the features are available. So you can download it by clicking this button here. I've already downloaded. So after you do that, you'll click Use App, and you can choose to add it to a specific workspace and a board. In this case, I'll add it to my sales board. So before we go over the mechanics of how the app works, let's make some adjustments to our board just so we can have something set up. So I'm going to add a new group here, and I'll name this Weekly Tasks. And now let's use our AI assistant to give us some example items to work with here. So I'll click our AI assistant, choose that group, Weekly Tasks, and let's write something like this. Prepare me a list of weekly tasks for my sales development representatives to complete. Identify, clear, calling, and emailing quotas. Let's see what it comes up with. Beautiful. So we have some clear tasks that we can work on every week. I'm going to add those to my weekly tasks group. Awesome. So now I want to choose an item that we can work on. Let's say call 100 new prospects per day. Let's do actually set up 10 discovery meetings per week. Let's do this one. And I'm going to set a date for this item. I'll choose June 5th, which is a Monday. So now once I open up my item, we want to make sure that we set an example date in our date column here, because in order for the recurring tasks app to work, there has to be a date there so the app can consider what is going to be the start date for the recurring task. So opening up my item, you can see that the first item is already scheduled for June 5th, and it automatically will detect the first date that you want assigned. So keep that in mind. And now I want to select when exactly I want my task to repeat. You have a couple of options here. We have weekly, monthly, every year. Again, the app also recognizes the day of the week that you've set your date. In this case, June 5th is on a Monday. So it will also provide you more options based off that day as well. So for this example, let's say we want to do repeated every week on Monday. The second option it will show you is when do you want the recurring tasks to end? You have the choice to end it on a specific date with the calendar dropdown to make your choice. So let's choose, we started on the 5th, let's choose the 26th. Once you determine that this schedule is all set, it's something you want to follow, you can click save. And now, as you can see, my 3 items got created right in my board with the dates to match for the next 3 weeks after June 5th. Now let's delete these because I want to show you another way that we can set up these recurring tasks. So I'll go to my original item here, use the same setup as before every week on Monday. Now, instead of choosing a specific date in our calendar dropdown, we can choose to arrange it after a certain number of repetitions. In this case, I'll choose 3 repetitions. So now our items will repeat every week on Monday 3 times. I'll click save, and again, those same 3 items will get created with our dates assigned as well. So I do want to mention that all of these items that get created with our recurring tasks app, they're native monday.com items, which is awesome. So that means that you can edit them, automate them, engage with the item as you please, just like any other item on your account. And another cool feature with the recurring tasks app is that it includes sub-items as well. So let's open a sub-item here. And I'll write something like write follow-up emails. And to set up our app on the sub-item level, we'll open up the sub-item just like we do with our items. And we want to add an additional view here. I'll click Add View, scroll down to your installed apps, and I'll click Add to Item with recurring tasks. Beautiful. And now you can follow the same exact steps and setup, but instead you can have it recurring for sub-items instead of items. Definitely an amazing app, and we are really excited that setting up recurring tasks on your board just got a lot easier. Very quickly, I want to hop back into our apps marketplace for a brief update. We want to let you all know that we can now rate apps in our marketplace. You can do so by clicking Rate the App here, choosing a rating from 1 to 5 stars. So Definitely don't hesitate to leave a rating, as our friends in the marketplace will be very, very appreciative. Fantastic. On to our next feature. Let's go back to our board. I want to show you our new additions to our Jira integration. So let's make our way to the Integration Center and take a look. So I'm going to type Jira here. And please keep in mind that this Jira integration right here, that's our old Jira integration, hence why it says deprecated. So we want to be sure to use our new one, which is right here. Before, conditions in our Jira integration, they were really limited. They only allowed for 2 static fields at most, so users had to filter out issues later on using automations, and you had to sync all of the data that you had in your account, and it was very cumbersome. Now, we could reduce all of that noise by syncing only relevant Jira issues and Monday items instead of all of your information. So opening up our recipe here, I'll go ahead and connect my account, select my project, our issue type, which in this case is task, and we can choose the sync direction here if we want it one way from Jira to Monday, or also one way from Monday to Jira, or 2 ways. I'll choose 2 ways. And now we can select the filters from Jira to Monday here. You could also select the filters from Monday to Jira here. And regardless of whichever sync direction you've chosen earlier, you can actually select the sync direction of selected updated fields here. So let's say I want to always update from Jira to Monday. If our end date gets pushed at all, I want that to update in our date column in my Monday item. You can also opt to add additional fields here as well. So let's go back to our filtering options. Let's start with Jira from Monday, Jira to Monday. So you'll see that our config conditions block here, it has the same 3 configurations as does our board filter, which is a column field, logic/conditions, and then some kind of value. So let's say from Jira to Monday, we want to only sync the issues where our priority is the highest, nothing else. And then from Monday to Jira, we only want to sync the items where the status is done, absolutely nothing else. So now I have a very specific criteria on what I want synced from Jira to Monday and vice versa, and I can add this to my board. And voila, now you don't have to sync all of your information all the time, but rather hone in on what's important for each team, for each board, and for each of your Jira accounts. Conditions were the top requested capability in Jira Beta, so I'm sure that we have some happy folks in the audience. Definitely have some fun with it. For our next feature, I'm going to stay in our Integration Center to show you that we've also added some Workforms dedicated automation recipes. So if you're not already familiar with our Workforms, it is a new product of ours that supersedes our old monday.com forms. With Workforms, there is a new layout, conditional logic, custom fonts, background images, and more. All monday.com paying customers have access to Workforms, so I'm sure that many of you are already familiar with it. If you're not, though, I advise the admin of your account to hop over to workforms.com, which is outside of our monday.com platform, and just click Get Started right here. Once you do that, and once your admin activates the Workforms, Workforms will be available to everyone on your account. All right, jumping back to my account, let's dive into those Workforms dedicated automation recipes. So here you're going to find plenty of static recipes that are ready to go to begin automating your form responses specific to your goals. Although we can already automate Workforms with our standard automations, The language being used makes it difficult sometimes to understand how the automations could be implemented. So our team created these recipes that all Monday users can put on their boards. And these automations allow you to automate tasks based on the trigger when a form is submitted. It's important to note, however, that all forms created on one board will trigger this automation. So please be aware of this if you're using multiple forms on one board. This can result in many automation runs, notifications, item creations, etc. And soon we're going to release a workflow builder because let's say if we open a recipe, for example, you'll see it's a static recipe, like I said before, which means I cannot add additional actions here yet. So we will have a workflow builder released in the future, so you can also adjust and modify these recipes, add actions according to your needs, just like other custom automations. In the near future, we're also going to make it easier for users to access these automations by enabling them in the Workforms Automate tab. So definitely stay tuned for that. Okay, so for the rest of our new features, we're going to dive into some quick updates with familiar features, but some big changes. So the first things first, we're going to take a look at an update with our notification panel. So we all know that notifications accumulate over time, especially if you're working on multiple projects. And sometimes you don't read notifications straight away, or you might want to locate a particular notification at a later date. Looking for any kind of specific notification can be unnecessarily time-consuming a lot of the time if you don't remember exactly when it was sent. And that's why we're excited to share with you the search feature on the notifications panel, which allows you to track down your notifications and help better locate a particular update. So I can actually access the search bar right here. And let's say that I want to search for another team member. I'll search for, say, my team member, SpongeBob. And now I can see all the notifications where they were mentioned, and they're filtered in my notification panel view with the timeline as well. Clearly, SpongeBob has a serious problem completing his work. So I suggest you definitely test this when you're looking for a particular notification from a user in your team or for particular keywords that were used in an update. Okay, on to the next quick addition. Let's go over some changes in our admin settings. So I'm going to navigate to our administration settings here, customization, and then user profile. You'll see here that admins now have the ability to remove fields from the profiles of team members. So we've noted in the past that some of these fields might be considered private data that some teams don't want available on Monday. So now admins can disable fields or enable fields so they'll be available or not in any of your accounts or user accounts in their user profiles. You can go ahead and click hide or show. You can add new custom fields as well, change the orientation of these fields, and then save those changes. Pretty neat. The next change we have is with our Teams feature. So before, with larger accounts that utilize many teams for various purposes and different access issues, it was really difficult to understand who has access to what at a glance. So now in the Teams page, you can see what content from your account is accessible for each team. So I can scroll through my design team, for example, and see that they have access to this board. It's a public board, and these are other folks who have access. Same thing with my customer experience team. I can see they have access to this board, and these members have access too. So now I can get a bird's eye view of who has access to what. Almost finishing up, we've added a small but mighty change with our trash and archive section, and that is the ability to multi-select. So until today, items could only be restored one by one, from the trash to archive, even though you could delete and archive many items at once. So I'm very happy to let you know that this selection can be done by multi-selecting with the mouse, or you could also use Shift, Command, or Control to select your range. And I've personally heard a lot of feedback regarding this feature, so I'm glad to see user feedback become reality here among this and all of our new features today. So after highlighting, you can go ahead and click Restore right here to bring back all of those items, boards, groups, whatever it may be. Okay, almost done. So we do want to remind everyone that Monday Dev is out of beta, so be sure to check it out if you are a developer and you want to explore this new innovative product of ours. From sprint planning, daily stand-ups to retro and sprint review, your team can manage the life cycle of your sprints directly in Monday Dev. Also, you can easily detect any potential problems or bottlenecks through tracking your sprint progress, comparing the actual remaining effort with the ideal progress in our Burndown charts here. And you could even streamline updates directly from your Git repository to update the status within Monday and track progress through your Git dashboard. So these are just a few of the many reasons why you should consider this product. And don't forget, you can always run a test with a trial. So give it a try whenever you have some time. Lastly, but definitely not least, I want to announce that we have just released the incredible, long-awaited What's New page. This page provides visitors and users with an easy way to explore all of the latest features and updates from monday.com and get the most out of our platform. It's the first phase of the page's launch, so we're looking forward to seeing how it's going to change and improve over time. And incoming changes and next steps will include adding even more releases such as bug fixes, events, event announcements, some marketplace apps releases, and a lot more. So give it a look, monday.com/what's-new. Beautiful. So this actually completes our new features presentation part of our session, and we're going to move into the Q&A shortly. If you haven't had a chance, please be sure to add your questions in the Q&A box. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we're going to get started. Okay, I'm back. Before we dive into our questions, I'm going to share our form in our chat section. So if you want to have the Monday AI Assistant be added to your account, you can go ahead and fill out that form, which I've just sent in the chat box, and we'll make sure to have it added, have you join the beta. Beautiful. So now I'm going to scroll through some of our questions and we can get started with our Q&A. So I do have a common question getting asked about the cost of our recurring tasks app. It is actually completely free of charge, so no need to worry about pricing or anything like that. It is totally free. All you have to do is download it from your marketplace app. Okay, looking at some more questions. So I have a question from Jeff. Can you add recurring tasks with sub-items at the same point of creation, or must you do it for each sub-item individually? It's a great question. So let's hop back into my board. And it is true that we would have to add the recurring tasks app for each sub-item. So once you add the view to one sub-item, they're going to be there for each of them. But in terms of setting up the actual schedule, you would have to do that for each one individually. And of course, we have to make sure There's a date in the date column first, and then afterwards it'll register that date, and you could follow the same steps. So you still would have to do this for each sub item, but like I mentioned, this is a brand new application, and Adaptivist is a very, very awesome partner of ours. They're always looking for user feedback, and it's very likely that they'll make changes quite quickly based on common feature requests or any questions or notes that all of you have. So definitely, if a note like that would be perfect to forward to them, if you click Contact Developer and let them know that that would be a good feature to keep in mind. Thanks for that question, Jeff. Looking through some more. Have a question from Carla saying, how can we confirm if we have work docs or not? So you can actually click add here and add new form. And it should say powered by Workforms right here. And it'll let you have this form builder that you can customize, and you have a lot of options. It'll show go to Workforms. If you don't have that and it shows more of a bland user interface, doesn't have much capabilities, then that's when you can let your admin know to enable Workforms through the steps provided. They can go to workforms.com and click Get Started right here. Thanks for that question, Carla. All right, looking through some more. Question from Bree. Will Burndown Charts be available without Monday Dev? It's a great question. At this time, we're only offering our Burndown Charts in the Monday Dev product exclusively. And you can also check out any pricing information if you go to monday.com/dev, which I will link in our chat right here. And you can go ahead and click pricing to see what that would look like for your team. Thanks for that question, Bree. Looking through some more. Have another question here from anonymous attendee, similar to Monday Dev. I was told that Monday Dev would be added for paying customers. Is that true, or do we have to add/pay for the future? That is not true. Monday Dev is not automatically added for paying users. It's an additional product that sits on top of our work management platform, and you would have to purchase it at a cost. So you can go to pricing and check out this information here as well. Another question here from an anonymous attendee, is AI going to be available for free? Yes, it is. Our Monday AI assistant, right now it's only released to a specific small list of beta users, and all of you have exclusive access to our AI assistant through that form that I've sent in the chat. So it is totally free for all paying users, and eventually it'll be released to all accounts. Another quick question from anonymous attendee, similar to recurring tasks. Is it currently free in beta? Is it going to be free after beta? As of now, from what we know, it is going to be free indefinitely, even after beta. But stay tuned for updates as well in the Marketplace app or on our What's New page as well. I'll also link our What's New page in our chat box here. Looking through some more questions. Have a question from Linda. Will the AI feature ever be compatible with other integrations like MailChimp, for example? That's a really great question. So for now, the only features that we have in beta are our task generator, which is right here that we've demonstrated, and the ability to write and summarize information in our Monday work docs. What we have coming up in development that's already being worked on is the ability to summarize email conversations and emails and activities here. The AI assistant will also be able to compose emails and save templates, really make responding and tracking emails faster. We also have an AI assistant in development for our formula column that will allow you to build formulas with ease based off descriptions and wants that you describe. And the AI assistant, it'll show up somewhere here. That's also in development, currently in the works. And the third one that we have set is for the update section. If we have long threads in our update section, and it is really hard to kind of keep up with everything that gets noted here, our AI assistant will be able to jump in, write a TLDR, summarize the entire thread in a click of a button. So that's what's in the works. In regards to incorporating our AI assistant with other integrations, I know that's a big need, a big demand of ours. So first, we're hoping to focus on building the foundation for our AI assistant within Monday, getting all the data we need for that, testing that with our users, making sure it improves and evolves at a good pace. And then we'll start to incorporate bringing it with other integrations and other things in the platform. But that looks like it'll be way out in the future as well. No timeline guaranteed for that. So thanks for that question. And Gabriella, yes, this recording will be available afterwards. It'll be emailed to you within 3 business days at the latest. Okay, let's look through some more questions. Okay, I have a question from Toulon. I don't see the beta AI prompt on our account. Where can I get it or sign up? So we don't have the AI assistant released for everyone just yet. As I mentioned, it's only released to a small list of testing users. All of you in this webinar have exclusive access to our AI assistant. And if you want to gain access, you'll have to fill out this form, which I'm sending once again in our chat. And once you fill out this form with your account information and your needs, you'll be able to be granted access to the feature once our team gets to your form response. So hope that helps you out, Toulon. Also, Catherine, hope that answered your question as well. Just make sure to sign up on that form. And Linda's asking, the request to join the AI beta, does it have to come from the admin of your account? That's a great question. I wasn't informed that it needs to be an admin specifically, so I would go ahead and submit a form regardless. And Adriana, I don't believe there's a time limit to fill the form, have access to the AI. I was not informed regarding that as well. Okay, looking through some more questions. I have a question from an anonymous attendee. If you create an item with sub-items, when you make that original item a recurring item, will the sub-items be duplicated as well? That's a great question. Let's actually test it out right now. I don't believe they're going to be duplicated, but let's see. So we see that we have 2 sub-items here. I have June 5th as my date. And let's set it to repeat every week on a Monday and end it after 2 repetitions. Let's see if that got created with our sub-items. I don't believe they will be. Okay, so confirmed, they're not going to be created with your sub-items. You would have to set that up separately on the sub-item level as demonstrated here. Thanks for that question, though. Okay, looking at some more questions. A question from Missy. If we aren't the admin, how do we get the recurring tasks on private boards? As long as you have private boards enabled on your account, as in you're on a pro plan or above, and you're a part of that board, when you add that app, you will have access to it, even if it's a private board. For example, this is a private board that only I have access to, and you'll see recurring tasks as a view in your item level or the sub-item level as well. Another question from anonymous attendee, is the Workforms a separate site? If so, is there a separate cost for this solution? As of now, Workforms is available to all Monday paying users. It doesn't have a separate cost as of now. That could change in the future. So currently, no separate costs, and it is a separate site, but it integrates directly in your monday.com account after you have your admin grant you access to the account, like so. Okay, looking through some more questions. For those of you who arrived late, I see a couple messages here. Absolutely no worries. We're going to be emailing you this recording within 3 business days, so it'll be available for you to watch at your leisure. And yes, Lexi, I'm going to reinsert that form, the AI form, for you to fill out. Give me one moment. I have a question from Larry. Any update on seeing what boards a user has access to? That's a great question. So for now, we don't have a place to see that at a glance. That's great feedback for us. But in terms of board types in general, we do have 3 board types. We have main boards, shareable boards, and private boards. And if you have a main board on your account, it's safe to assume that everyone on your account, everyone in that workspace as well, can access that board. And if you have a private board, it's only accessible to those who you invite to the board and nobody else. And then shareable boards are accessible for guests outside of your account who are joining in and added as a guest to your account. And they're not accessible to others as well. Well, actually, shareable boards might be accessible to other members of your account, but main difference is main and private boards. Okay, looking through some more questions. Lauren, I sent out that form to get your account added to AI, the beta. So check it out in the chat section. It should be one of the recent messages there. And I'll actually go ahead and share that form again since we have other users who want to get it. Have a question. Would you, from an anonymous attendee, would you be able to set up AI to autofill invoices out for you from fields supplied? It's a great question. Let's open a new document. And we wouldn't be able to autofill invoices, but we can create a template for an invoice. So let's say I want to generate a template for invoice. And you can also say include these fields XYZ and make it like this, etc. But let's just say, let's see what it shows just if we put invoice. So it'll come through with the basic template of the number, the date, to and from, the total, and the terms, and then you can adjust this in the prompt as well if you want to get more specific with your needs. So hope that helps. Once again, for everyone who's asking, there's no timeline, no guaranteed timeline for when we can grant you the access to the forms. There's a team that's reviewing that form every day, so they should be getting to it rather quickly and granting you access upon your entry. So be patient, and I'm sure that it will be available to you shortly. Looking through some more questions. But since we do have only 3 minutes left, I do want to mention after this webinar how you can go about educating yourself about these resources and also reaching out to us if you ever need anything. You can click this question mark here, which brings you to our help section. And you can find answers on any articles we have provided, any features we have right here in this search box. You can explore some popular topics. And my favorite, our knowledge base. This will bring you to our hub of all of the articles that we have readily available for you, divided by category, by features, by use cases. So definitely something to dive into. We have our Monday community page, which we've been talking about quite a lot recently. This is where you can totally interact with other Monday users, ask questions, and it's readily monitored by our CS team and our developer team. So we'll have folks that are always going in answering your questions. You can go to our Academy page to search for courses that you want to take to learn more about Monday. Like we have a building workflows course, just like this, all the steps here. We also have a course specifically for admins if you want to learn more about what's readily available to you as an admin at monday.com, and a lot more. So definitely check that out. And I want to thank all of you for joining us. It's been a super pleasure to share these new features with you. And I appreciate you spending this last hour with me. It's been awesome. So definitely reach out if you ever have any questions, and otherwise, have a wonderful day.